We're live.
We're live.
We're
wow.
live.
To ourselves.
Yeah. So, okay. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Our Thoughts, Your Thoughts, a show where we talk about the things you do want to talk about.
And the things you don't want to talk about.
I'm Rob, and this is...
Jet.
What up, yo? You know what? The show started such a long time ago. It's just us in your basement eating cookies and milk.
This is true.
I'll never forget that.
Does that mean the show started before the internet started?
You know what? No, because I remember I used to come to your house so you can burn me some CDs. And you needed
you trying to get me arrested?
Burn CDs? Dude, the people who are in the police right now don't even remember that stuff.
Fair.
They're like 25 and stuff, man.
Fair. So, as you can see, we are no longer doing a live show, but we're doing a live show. Or as the kids would call it, lit.
Lit. Yeah.
Right? So
we're looking for clout.
What's that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So with that being said, we're going to keep bringing you guys the podcast, bringing you guys the show, keep bringing you that fire on a week-to-week basis. But the fact of the matter is, we got 7 kids between the two of us, and we can't always do the live show when we want to do it. So you know what? We still want to have that conversation with you guys, get your comments, and just use a bigger platform because you guys have been supporting us for so long. But we want to bring some more people into the conversation. So you're going to find us mostly on YouTube. We'll still post some stuff on Facebook, but you'll find us on YouTube. So, let's get the party going. So, what's your song of the week?
Damn, I didn't even think about song of the week, yo. I don't know, man. Like, there's a song by Bob Marley I like a lot.
Okay. Just one?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Fair enough.
But it just reminds me of this the Will Smith song "Summertime." It's the Jammin'. It's just a really feel good vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, Jammin'. Dope. My joint is by this new cat that my wife and I have been listening to. His name is Lucky Day. Day spelled Y-E. And the song is called Roll Some Mo. And maybe it's about marijuana. I don't know, but it's a dope vibe. It's a dope vibe. I want to know. Do you think I should start making those mashups again? Those video mashups?
With YouTube, they'll be so dope. More people can have access to it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I think doing that could be another part of the playlist on the channel.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
so
cool.
Before, what we used to do is all the songs that we would mention throughout the week, we'd make a mashup.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
But now hopefully you guys can have access to it here on YouTube. Those would be dope.
Yeah. We'll still do them on Instagram though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might mash them into the videos that we're putting on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
So with that being said, typically we also have a dessert, but we may have one by the end of the show. Not sure. There's a possibility, but again, any bakers, if you're a baker out there and you want us to talk about your dessert, and just want to be the sponsor of the show and get some clout.
See,
I use that properly in a sentence.
Yeah, you knew what I was talking about, man.
Well, you guys just holler at us. For those of you watching us on YouTube as well, to subscribe to the channel, just click on the watermark at the bottom corner right there. Okay, right there for more of that fire. But let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. So tomorrow.
What's tomorrow? Man?
Tomorrow is D-Day. All right. Tomorrow is D-Day at Oracle Arena in the Bay. Game 6, NBA Finals. Raptors up 3-2. Should have swept the series, but that's okay. How do you see it going?
If you take away all the 11 points that Durant had in that game, Raptors would have won.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you read about it, but the NBA just did in a report that said Marc Gasol got fouled towards the end of the game.
I was thinking about that.
And they didn't call it.
Because I was like, why isn't he shooting? I didn't understand what was going on.
The reason why that's important is because the Raptors lost by a point.
Yeah.
And Gasol would have gotten 2 free throws.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
To
get 2 free throws.
Yeah.
And I don't really see Gasol being like Shaq and missing any of the free throws, man.
Fair.
You know? So
fair.
It would have been interesting,
to
say the least.
The thing I'm trying to understand right now is why Golden State is favored to win Game 6.
Because no one's giving Toronto the respect that they deserve. Because think about it, you really gotta beat the champion to be the champion. Like they've done it for like 5 years.
Yeah,
Toronto's kind of done it.
Yeah,
you know, they've had a blockage.
They kept getting LeBron.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They kept getting LeBron, but now there's no LeBron in the East, and they have a Kawhi in the East, and they're just doing what they do best. You know, but until they win, they won't get the respect that they deserve.
That's true. I get it. But you know what? So far, it's been helping my wallet. I'll put that out there.
Because you called it. You said Raptors in 6.
I did.
Yeah.
It didn't go in the order I thought it would, but it's still going according to plan.
So it was kind of sad to see how many people came to that Game 5. Like, Richard Branson was at Game 5.
Yeah.
Cardinal Official was at Game 5. Yeah. What's his name? Tory Lanez. Sorry. Kara calls him Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
She thought it was a girl just by the name.
Wow.
Tory Lanez.
Wow. But I mean, honest mistake.
Yeah. But I really feel like Toronto should win it.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching the series, they are clearly the better team.
That's the thing. Like, Golden State have, I don't even want to say the better player, because the best two-way player in the entire playoffs is Kawhi.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, the guys that scare me, because every time Clay or Steph shoot, I say shit.
Yeah, like
every time.
It's not that they might miss. It's really more up to them to miss.
Yeah.
But anybody else, you know, like maybe they might get it in.
Yeah.
You know, but with these guys, it's like more likely to go in.
Like, man, and like you said, they lost by 1. Golden State made 23 pointers.
Wow.
Toronto made 8.
Wow.
And it's then all that, and think about that. It took that for them to win by 1. It took an 18-0 run for them to win by 5. So, like, when they win, like, it takes a lot.
But Toronto in that first half, like, they missed a lot of baskets.
But that's what I'm saying.
They had open looks. I feel like Toronto kind of beat themselves in Game 5.
Of course, but their defense keeps them in.
Yeah.
Their defense is solid.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I really think, like, Game 6, like, it's got to end. First of all, I'm tired. Okay? I'm tired of staying up, watching these West Coast games that start at 9.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired.
Dude, it's no joke. Like, everybody, especially people with kids, like, we're trying to move on with our lives. And this thing is dragging along. Like, honestly, Jet, I'm not sure if I'm even going to watch Game 6.
You bite your tongue.
Yo, I'm just being honest, man. Like, Game 5 wasn't really as satisfactory as I wanted it to be. Yeah. I've been watching it at the theaters, and I watched it at home. You know, like, my wife's tired. The kids had to go to sleep because they got school in the morning.
Yep.
You know, all that. It's like I was the only one, like, up and energized. So that wasn't fair. Like, my energy level was up. Everybody else was trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't see it going to Game 7 and everybody still be as interested.
Do you agree that the outcome for Game 5 was possibly because Toronto started to celebrate early?
I don't know. I think they were playing with a different type of pressure.
Okay.
Right? A different like when you have like dignitaries calling you and everybody's calling you and saying, you know, good game, you guys can do it. You guys, you're no longer playing just to play. True. And that's why I love a guy like Kawhi. He's level-headed. He's been there before, but not everybody on the team has done that, right?
Nope.
But I do feel like they probably thought it was gonna be done when at Game 5, but they needed to be humbled. They needed to really appreciate the potential victory that they're gonna have, the championship that they're gonna have. Fair. Say that they had a real scare, because once they come back on, once tomorrow night, once they play Golden State again, like Golden State is playing with a do or die attitude, right? Raptors need to keep playing with that same attitude they've been had since the beginning, that they are the underdog, that people are counting them out. It's funny to see how many people like Stephen A. Smith and all those guys flip-flop, depending on the outcome of the game. I told you they weren't gonna win. I told you they weren't gonna win. It's crazy, man.
But that's their job, right? Their job is to
troll,
pretty much. Yeah. And the thing is, okay. Well, here's a question, and I saw this on social media. So if Toronto wins, do they visit the Parliament or the White House?
Parliament.
It should be the Parliament, right?
Yeah, Parliament.
Okay.
But it's the NBA representing America.
But they sang about Canada at the game.
They do. Yeah. But it's like a pity-o Canada.
No, but, it's not a pity-o Canada.
They have to, right? It's not like they sing.
It's a Canadian team.
So
and there's Canadian players in the league.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that!
Ooh, delicious!
Oh, sugar cookies, ginger. Ooh, is there any water or milk we can have with that? Fresh out of the oven. Maybe that's how we should do the show. Do it at the bakeries as they come out of the oven. But going back to the game, I really hope that Toronto wins. But it is actually the two best teams playing right now, and they both have an answer for each other. I think Toronto has a better chance of winning if they stay hungry. But with everything that Steve Kerr throws at them, they have an answer. On the defensive end, on the offensive end, they have an answer. And everybody, like not everybody on the Raptors are all-stars compared to Golden State, but they play like they belong. Like Van Fleet has become like a huge local hero, man. Danny Green, same thing. Ibaka, dude is blocking everybody. He comes on and you can see he's a man on a mission, man. And I love when they switch Ibaka for Gasol. It's like, oh, okay. It's like one good guy for another good guy. And you could clearly see the strategy in motion when they bring in Ibaka.
But they have the size advantage.
Big time.
Right? They have,
big time.
I see what you did there.
Oh, accident? Accidents do happen.
Now, speaking of that, where are your thoughts on this whole Kevin Durant injury? He had surgery, by the way, today.
Yeah,
because he did rupture his Achilles. Like, I feel like everyone and their mama knew that he shouldn't have been playing.
Okay, let's pause it.
Okay,
let me just go see.
What are you guys?
Yeah.
I don't know how long they played for.
If it's gonna cut again, let's just do the audio.
Yeah, just hold on. I just want to see. I'm not sure if it cut. I just want to see. No, go ahead.
Mercy buckets.
Cart full. Let's just do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, on A little bit. So, okay, I have a good one for you.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so for Game 5, one of the biggest questions that was being asked around: will KD play or will KD not play? In your professional opinion, what would have been the best option, and how severe is a tear of the calf?
First of all, I think it was BS that it was a tear of the calf.
Oh,
I think from jump, there's no way it was a tear of a calf. The way when you see the injury happen, the way he came down, the way he fell, and like started to limp, it was almost reminiscent of when Kobe tore his Achilles and started kind of walking, because when you tear your Achilles, you can't push off. Like you can't. And then when he was off all this time, he's been off like a month. A calf injury would not be as severe as that for a month. My professional opinion, he should have been shut down for the playoffs, for the rest of the playoffs. After that injury, he should not have seen the court anymore. They mismanaged him, and I love how they showed the side by side of how to treat a player and how not to treat a player. Because you see Kawhi with the load management that they did all season, and they trusted him. They're like, "Hey, how do you feel?" I don't feel it today. Okay, we're taking your game off. Kevin Durant has had like Achilles tendonitis for the longest time. Right?
Oh, you did.
Well, a lot of basketball players do, right? Like all you do, it's a sport where all you do is run and jump. That's all you do, right? So you're gonna get issues with those areas in your body. So when we see the guy hadn't practiced, had not done like a game scenario, there's a big difference between playing in Game 5 of an NBA Finals or playing a game period and playing a light scrimmage with your team in a controlled manner. It was ridiculous the way they screwed him. They saw, oh, we're down 3-1. We need some type of emotional boost. We need his scoring. Like the guy was the NBA Finals MVP the last 2 years. We got to do something. So yes, he's a competitor, and they could just feed off of that and be like, yo, we're down 3-1. If you come back, man, you know this team is gonna rally around you. And then you'll bring us back from 3-1, and that'll be part of your legacy, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It'll be so easy to do that. And then, how is that not a conflict of interest? Team doctors, it's kind of like, remember in Any Given Sunday? When, what's his name? Lawrence Taylor. They said, yo, if you keep playing, you're going to get another concussion. You might die. Right? And then, what did the team James Woods... He's like, yo, they know the risks, but like they got to make that money. Like put him out there, right? Yeah. It's the exact same thing. But now don't be shocked if you hear down the road that Kevin Durant sues the Warriors, because they're gonna be like, I trusted you guys as the doctors, and you misdiagnosed me. Because there's no way that I have a calf injury and then all of a sudden my Achilles snaps. Like, it could be a compensation where you get tightness everywhere and then your Achilles snaps, but it's not like, all of a sudden you're going to go from a calf strain to an Achilles snap. The guy had ice on his Achilles and his lower leg. They kept trying to tell people, oh, no, it's his calf. You could see ice on his Achilles every time he was walking around with ice. He had ice on his Achilles, on his leg, less than 24 hours before the game. And you go out and put him out there. But yeah, people saw him dancing and doing all that stuff pre-game. Foolishness. And now they're gonna sacrifice his Achilles just so that it makes the score more respectable, where they lose 4-2 instead of getting swept or losing 4-1. Because the other thing is, to me, dynasties don't ride into the sunset, huh?
Yeah, they crumble.
They crash and burn.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
That's what happened with Jordan.
Yep.
In '98.
Yep.
It happens with all of them.
That's what happens.
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you see everybody falling apart. Even Andre Iguodala has ice on his Achilles while he's walking Kevin Durant to the locker room. I noticed that today. I was like, well, that's not good. Right? So Iguodala is playing hurt.
they're all playing hurt.
They're all playing hurt, but like to the point where you have to ice when you're not on the court. Like, and then when they're like, okay, go back on the court, and to me, just something doesn't seem right anyway. Like to put ice on your body. But anyway,
so an injury like that, how long does it take to?
Well, look at Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins tore his Achilles before the playoffs with New Orleans last year. He came back in like February of this year. So he got injured in spring last year. He came back in like late winter of this year. So think about that. Plus, when you're taller, that means the ligament is longer, takes longer for it to heal. He's now a little bit older. He's 30, 31. He's like, this will change his career. Will he be able to shoot? Sure. Will he be able to do a lot of things? Sure. Will he be as explosive? Will he be? Probably not.
So what would it take to get back to as close as he was?
A time machine.
A time machine. Like in terms of recovery, what goes into recovery and in rehab?
A lot of things. Like the surgery has to be successful. Then you have to think about following the protocol and then starting along. It's just a whole mishmash of stuff, man. Like there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of steps that you have to take into account. And it's almost like if someone said, "Hey, do you want to tear your Achilles or break your leg?" Choose 100 times out of 100, you say break your leg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I would do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you could have a catastrophic leg break, but I'm talking just like broken leg, like your run-of-the-mill broken leg. I'm not talking about pins and hardware and stuff.
So why would you say that? Why would you say
because bones will heal, but tendons and ligaments, it can get complicated, right? So can bones, but more times than not, like, you know, there's one thing to cast something, and another thing that, you know, you have to go in and have surgery for. Yeah, right. Because
there's not a lot of blood vessels in the ligaments, right?
In the ligaments, not so much. In the tendons, there's a little bit more, but the tendon is, you know, the bridge through which the muscle makes the bone move, right? So which means all of the strength, all of the power goes through the tendon. So if that's what's fixed and it's fragile, it could be an issue.
Wow. So basically, you're saying he came back too soon.
I told you what should have happened. He should have been shut down for the playoffs. He should have been done. He should have been done for the playoffs. The Warriors should have just acknowledged, hey, you know what? We're gonna play the playoffs without KD. Be done with it. And then if you lose, you lose. They tried to force him back. Now the question to me is, would they have done that if it was Steph? Because keep in mind, KD is in a contract year, right, where he could pick up a player option.
But nobody is questioning Steph's loyalty to the team. Nobody is.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah,
I do think that argument is valid. Nobody's questioning Steph's commitment to the team. He's been there from the beginning. But at the same time, if KD didn't go in, there's a lot of talk that said that you know we've been here before you and we're gonna win without you long after you're gone. But they realized that that's not true, and more pressure was put on him to perform to win another one for them, right? And that's what happened. But it's a very interesting take, like medical take on it, or at least physical take on what goes into recovery from a major thing like that. But I'm curious to know as well, like what caused it in the first place, because what we saw was he shot, and then he's trying to run back towards the other side of the court, and that was against
Houston
Trailblazers.
No, he didn't play against Trailblazers at all.
At all?
It was Houston. It was Game 5 of Houston. Yeah.
So he just shot. It's not like there's a lot of tension or anything like that. What causes that to happen in the first place?
It's when you jump. Shit, this is getting all like medical. It's when you land. Okay, when you land, you have to bend your ankle, right? Which stretches your Achilles. So all of the load that went onto the Achilles, that's what caused the issue. That's what caused the minor tear. Because think of like the Incredible Hulk. What makes his skin so strong? Tensile strength, right? That's what.
I don't know what that means.
That means when something is stretched out so much that it makes it strong. It like it's like stuff just bounces off of it.
Oh, okay, I get
right?
it. I
Like
get
that.
it.
So the Achilles is the exact same thing. But if it doesn't have that strength, it tears. Right? So when he landed with all of his body weight and he had to bend his ankle, that it didn't have that stretch reflex. Because you have what's called an eccentric contraction, which means when you're making your muscle longer, and concentric, which means when you're making it shorter. So when you're actually jumping, physically jumping, you're being concentric with your calf. When you're landing, you're being eccentric. But you actually produce more force when you're eccentric. So when he landed, he produced more force than the Achilles could take, and then a tear was caused.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
That's why you hear about people, the first thing they do when they tear an Achilles is they'll look behind them, they'll look around, they'll be like, who hit me in the back of the leg? Like, who shot me? Who kicked me?
Because they hear a loud snap.
They hear a loud snap because it's like it's a spring, right? So it's a loud snap or like they feel it, right? They either hear it or they feel it, and they're like, what the? Something hit me. You know when in Forrest Gump, when Forrest goes to save Bubba, and then he's like, something bit me, but he doesn't see it. It's essentially the same thing, but in the lower leg.
Wow.
They're just like, what just happened? And then they go and walk, and they're like, oh, I can't walk.
So, what are like preventative measures? Like what?
Man, I don't want to get into all that, man. Like, I don't want it to be a medical show.
It's
like,
not a medical
yes,
show.
It's turning into a medical show.
It's interesting to know for all the Warrior fans to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else. But it's all good.
Stretch.
Man.
Stretch. That's what you should do. Just stretch.
It's all good.
Don't keep playing Fortnite and all that stuff. Like, stretch dynamically, ballistically, meaning like with movement, and realize that the older you get, the stiffer you get. Muscles and tendons are like bubblicious gum. You know when you chew gum, when you first chew bubblicious gum, how stringy and gooey it is? That's like kids. That's their flexibility. After you've chewed bubblicious gum for an hour, and you could probably kill someone if you threw it at them, that's an adult's muscles.
Yeah, it gets hard.
Yeah, it gets hard. That's how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway.
That was a good take.
Yeah. But okay, speaking of losses, because of that, I know it's not as much in the news, but you're a boxing fan, and I want to know what are your thoughts on this whole, even outside of boxing, on this Andy Ruiz beating Anthony Joshua situation. I have my thoughts on it that are not even boxing related, but I'm curious to know what you think about that.
So when I heard about the fight, I forgot what it was. I was watching one of the Raptors game. Okay, and then when the Raptors game ended, I was trying to watch the fight, but by the time I was able to get the fight was over. Yeah. Okay, fight was over. It sucked that I couldn't watch it. Yeah. But when I saw who Anthony Joshua was fighting, I immediately felt the same way that everybody felt. Like, why is he fighting this bum? Yeah. Because he looked like a bum.
But he only had like one loss.
One loss that is debatable.
Yeah.
That he potentially may have won. Yeah. But for people who didn't know who Andy Ruiz is, it just looks like a money fight that Anthony Joshua was running away from AJ and was running away from.
Can I save like 2 of those for Tess?
Nice. Yeah, we're just getting our second batch of cookies.
Thank you.
It just looked like Anthony Joshua was running away from Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So he's going to fight this bum. And then I watched the replay of the fight. Anthony Joshua didn't want to be in there. And this guy wanted to win. It's like, this is my only chance. My only chance to do what I do. And he was just like the Raptors. Underdog, but he's just a way better fighter. Like his hand speed, his hand speeds were the antidote to Wilder's long long.
Joshua.
Anthony Joshua's long arms and strength. So that's exactly what happened, and the way he beat him is exactly how he was supposed to beat him. He's fast. He's been boxing since like he was like 6 and 7 years old, so he has extensive muscle memory. In the third round, Joshua got him down, knocked him down, and as he was down, the guy was praying to God, like, "Yo, God, give me strength to get up and win." He was saying that to himself, like, "God, give me strength. I need to get up," and that's a warrior's mentality. Meanwhile, when Anthony Joshua got hit, you could tell he did not want to get up.
Like, what was that?
What? Yeah, he didn't want to get up. He didn't want to fight anymore. Especially with the last knockdown, which last of 4 knockdowns on Anthony Joshua. The ref asked him to move forward to show that he wants to continue. His mouth and his face says yes. His body didn't want to move. He just stayed on the ropes, like, "Yo, nope, I ain't going nowhere." But what Andy Ruiz said, "Look, everybody's making fun of me because of the way I look, but I can fight. This is the only thing I know how to do is fight. Don't just look at how I look." Like Stephen A. Smith made fun of him, saying like he got Mexican butterbean, but dude can fight. He knows how to fight. And all the guys that fought him are like, "Yo, this guy's actually really good." And I watched a few clips of people predicting the fight. All the pros are like, "This is a dangerous fight for Joshua." That they're most likely going to underestimate Ruiz, and if you do that, he's gonna beat you, and then that's exactly what happened.
So I'm not as big of a boxing fan as you. I'm more of an MMA guy. Okay, but what I noticed from this, and I looked into it afterwards, it looked like he was ducking Deontay Wilder. It makes no sense. So I looked at four of his last 6 fights were all against guys who were 37 or older. Again, age doesn't make the fighter, but when you're chiseled out of granite and you have a physical advantage over guys like this, you fought guys overseas. You never came to the States. This is your first fight in the States, right? And you say, "Oh, I'm gonna just fight this Ruiz guy. I'm not gonna fight Wilder, who apparently has been trying to fight you and said, 'Yo, let's do this,' and you're just like,
Wilder even flew to the UK on his own dime to try and make it happen.
Right? So when I saw that, I was like, Deontay Wilder actually fought Tyson Fury. Like when they're like, "Oh, those are the big 3." And he's like, "All right, fine, let's do it." And they fought. And I was like, "Oh, respect." And just like I said, I'm a big MMA fan. This reminded me of guys like as much as you don't like them, but like a guy like a John Jones, like they don't duck people, right? They're like, "Oh, this is who you want me to fight? Then okay, let's go fight." However, this also reminded me of Anderson Silva when he lost to Chris Weidman, right? People were like, he's gonna fight this guy. It's gonna be easy, blah blah blah, and then he got knocked out. It was a little bit different because he was showboating. Yeah. But at the same time, it was like no one really full on expected Weidman to win. But other people were like, "Yo, like he's an All-American wrestler. Like he's got the tools that could hurt Anderson Silva." And he didn't take him seriously, and then he beat him twice. So in this rematch that's happening in the fall, I won't be shocked if Ruiz wins again.
So it's funny you say that. Most of the same people who predicted the outcome of this fight are saying the worst thing that the Joshua camp can do is take an immediate rematch. It's like this is his first professional loss. The thing like sinks in you. Like you need time to get over it. They're saying that it's his ego and his pride and his money team that are really pushing this, because Andy Ruiz is gonna go into this even more motivated and confident, because he was going into it confident that he was gonna win. Now he's gonna go into it even more confident because it wasn't a lucky shot. It was a beatdown. Like he beat Anthony Joshua down. So they're saying no rematch. And the best part, Jet, is this. If you look closely at the end of the fight, when the fight was over, Anthony Joshua's dad, Richard Joshua, got in the ring to go beat up Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns is the promoter, and
why? Because he put his son in that position.
Yeah. So the dad left a statement, said like, my son needs to wisen up. He needs to get with people who cares about him and not just people who are taking a free ride. Said he shouldn't have taken the fight, and Eddie Hearns and everybody else are not in his corner. It's like my son is like basically saying his son is too loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But like when the dad says, "Yo, like you need to leave. You need to find something else to do. You need to find another camp." Like, you got to take your dad's word, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think he would have felt that way, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, fair. Now, what I do know about this fight is, yes, because of appearances, and up until the rematch...
Let's split this one.
Sure. Up until the rematch, diabetes cases are about to go up 3,000%. Because dudes are not going to the gym after seeing that fight. They're going to say, yo, look at that dude, and he just beat the brakes off that dude who's jacked. What am I going to the gym for?
Yeah, I agree to an extent, okay? What's his name trains his ass off. Andy Ruiz trains his ass off. His stamina was better than Joshua's. His conditioning was better than Joshua's. His power was better than Joshua's. His hand speed was better. He's not in there. He's not in the gym lifting weights, but he's in the gym fighting all the time.
I agree.
There's huge difference.
I'm just saying based on appearance. I'm not saying based on skill and what he's actually doing. I'm just saying people will look at him and be like, yo, I look like that. Why am I going to the gym? This guy's a world champion. So until the rematch happens, people won't care. People won't care. I'm telling you, people won't care. Now, you mentioned Eddie Hearns and Anthony Joshua's dad. Okay.
Eddie Hearns is like a boxing Dana White. They even look the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you look like a black Dana White?
He's not black.
Oh, he's not black? I thought he was white.
Hearns is like this English dude.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, sleazeball.
There you go.
Anyway.
So, do you think the dad's going to hold a grudge against him now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how tight they are. It seems like he's very tight with his son. I don't think the dad's going to hold a grudge, but I think the son should at least acknowledge what's up. You know, what a lot of pros have said, that it seemed like Joshua was relieved that he lost. It seems like he was more happy that he lost than in the win. Remember Anderson Silva back in the day, like when he lost, it's like it's like a big weight lifted off his shoulder
Until he broke his leg in the rematch.
yeah. But the thing is, it's like that pressure is no longer there. Then he can become himself. But the biggest issue with this loss, the mystique of Anthony Joshua is gone. Guys are not going to go in it with as much respect towards Joshua as before.
That's
you
true.
know,
that's true.
And the biggest loser of that fight wasn't Joshua. It was Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder, yeah.
And he's mad, and I would be mad too.
He's like, you just messed up my payday.
Yeah. It's like, this is what I would have done, you know?
I get it. I get it. So, okay, you said he's not going to hold a grudge, but let's just say he did, or if in your mind, talking about grudges that we've seen in sports, that we've seen just in regular life, how long do you hold a grudge?
Dude, you know what? Some people hold on to grudges like it's like a sport, like it's like a championship. You know,
like it's about to go out of style.
Yeah, like people do it like it's a marathon. And honestly, I'm one of those guys. Like,
wow,
I've been, and I spoke with Kara about this with my wife, and I told her I'm so happy that she came into my life, because the type of person I was before, it's like, you do something to me, I'm gonna be mad for a long time, and sometimes I'll just cut it, and you'll never hear from me again. But like, what she taught me is like, yo, let's talk about this before we go to sleep. You know, let's talk about this before the day ends or whatever, right? So she's helped me learn. She's taught me the essence of like communication in a relationship, and I think the thing that makes people hold on to grudges the longest is that not communicating, miscommunicating. You know, like I've held on to grudges. There's some grudges I still hold on to, and sometimes I think about it and I laugh. I'm like, it's like, dude, grow up.
No, I hear you. I'm one of those people. I don't hold grudges. I just feel like I don't forget, but I don't hold it because I feel like holding a grudge has an aspect of negativity to it, in the sense that like I hope something, you know, like karma gets you back, right? You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel about grudges. I feel like that, like it's like, oh, you know, this person did this to me. Yo, they gonna see.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're remembering, you're just like, you know what, that person did that to me. Okay, fine. You know, I'll just remember that moving forward. I don't have no ill will towards that person. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'll remember that. You know what I mean? So that I'm not shocked if something happens in the future. You know what I mean? I'm not hoping it happens. I'm just saying I'm not shocked if that person comes back and acts the same way or whatever. Yeah. But I think grudges really have like a negative connotation to them. Like because it's bad karma to wish bad karma on someone. Yeah. Right? Like it doesn't really make any sense.
Like it might come back on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you're holding on to grudges, like all that energy spent into that, it's like you could have put it into something else. Yeah. You know how much energy and planning and thought it takes into when you see somebody you don't like that you're mad at, like to try to remember all this stuff, all the reasons why I shouldn't say hi to you across the room.
It takes energy.
It takes energy. It takes remembering, and it creates so much anxiety. You know, like obviously there's times where people do you wrong or hurt you that you should stay away, but you shouldn't take that on to yourself and try to like keeping a grudge, because when you're keeping a grudge, the person that it hurts more is you. It's like you're the one dealing with that stuff, man. Not that person. That person may not even know that you're mad or may not even care. Yeah. You know, but you're here freaking stewing over some stuff. Yeah. But the worst grudges I've seen and I've been a part of is like family shit. Oh yeah. Like those are the worst. Yeah. Like with someone living outside your house or outside your family, you know, it's easy to ignore it and let them go because these people come and go. Yeah. But like it's like sibling rivalries. Those are crazy, man.
But that's why I feel like at the same time, when siblings are like brutally honest with each other, I find like sometimes it's a little harder to hold on to a grudge because it's not like it's simmered. You know what I mean? Like it's just you put the situation on blast right away.
Yeah, it comes and it goes, and I agree with that. Yeah. And that goes back to communication. Like it's good to be honest. It's good to like I was telling my brothers, I'm the oldest. Based on our culture, like because I'm the oldest, I have certain responsibilities, and I was given a set of pride that I should hold on to, where my brothers should respect me this way, should do things a certain way, and all that. So I should never lower my status to talk to them or to level up with them, which would be looked down upon within my culture. But I was talking to my youngest brother. I say, dude, man, like I'll do whatever it takes for us to stay together, to stay close. I'm like, if you spit in my face, I'm just gonna wipe it and be like, yo, I'm sorry for whatever I did to make you do that. I'm not gonna be like, he spat in my face, F him for life. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do that because he's more important to me than my pride. Yeah. You know, like my pride comes from seeing how well my youngest brother is doing and seeing like some of the things that I've probably they probably picked up from me. You know, like I had a situation where like a friend of my brother's and I got into a situation, and then I started not becoming friends with that person, and I realized that I put my brother in a tight situation where it's like he had to choose between me and his friend, or like it's like, oh, I can't. It's like he just couldn't relax, and I noticed that. And at first I was like, yeah, you know, F that person, forget them, you know. And I put pressure on my brother, be like, yo, don't bring this person around me, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool, man. Like as an older brother, it was bad for me to make him have to make those decisions. But it came to me. I'm like, I spoke to him. I'm like, look, this I'm sorry for the situation. I have all the rights to be mad, but what's the point of being mad? I said, look, I'm not gonna put you in that situation where you got to choose, even though I've seen it happen. So I started whenever I would see that person around my brother or whatever, I'd be like, look, like how are you? Are you good or whatever? It's like what is seeing him becoming more relaxed when we're all together. It brings me more joy than me stewing when they come around, you know. Yeah, like some people take that type of stuff to their graves. Yeah, you know, like that. They
let it poison them. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway,
man, that's it.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
It's been real, yo.
It's been real. Yeah. So next time we chill, it might be Raptors NBA Finals champions, or very depressing.
You know what? After a friend of mine was Dwayne. Yeah. Dwayne was supposed to come over after the game on Sunday. Yeah. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna come to your house after the game or during the fourth quarter." Game's over. I text him. I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to bed." Yeah. He's like, "Me too, B." It's like who like. I wonder what the conversations would have been like. Oh, dude, that sucked. We almost made it. Yeah, you know. Yeah, not like exactly.
No jubilation, nothing.
Anyways, so thank you for listening to Our Thoughts, Your Thoughts, a show where we talk about the things you want to talk about
and the things you don't want to talk about. So once again, you guys check out the podcast. We'll be adding some short segments on YouTube. We don't have a video for this episode in particular. But moving forward, we'll make sure that you guys get that. So subscribe to the channel, spread the word, so we can get the comments and get on everybody else's perspective. And we'll look into doing some more fun things with guests and stuff moving forward. So peace out. Enjoy Game 6. Which Toronto's going to win?
According to your prophecy, it's Game 6. They will win.
Toronto will win in 6.
You know, but Game 7 on a Sunday night would be nice.
No, it wouldn't, because we got to work on Monday.
Anyways, peace out, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.